We are going to be assembling the graduate card. And again, with the other graduate gnomes, there are two options, a boy and a girl. So I'm going to just put together one card base. This is a 5x7 card. So it will fit in a standard envelope. And we're going to start with this open diploma here in the back. And I want to pop the ends of this. And the top of it. I can go ahead and put the top on now. I'm not going to put the bottom on yet because the stack of books sits underneath. So if I put it on now, it might affect where I'm able to put my books. And this piece is just going to line up. It lines up to the top and bottom and over to the side. Put this corner to the corner of your card. And then you'll have room to put graduate right down this side. So that's where we're going to line this up at. If you don't have a fine tipped glue bottle, do be careful with the amount of glue you put on the back. If it makes your card too wet, it will warp it. And then I'm just going to line my letters up so I get a spacing that I like. Make sure I've got them in the right order so that I actually spell a word. And then I can do any spacing up or down. And then start putting them on. And I'm just going to tap the glue bottle on there. I don't want glue gushing out behind every letter. My letters are black, so if it gets on the front, it will make a mark that will stay. And it really doesn't take much to make them stay down. The gnomes on this card can be customized in any color you would like. You can dress them in the school colors. Or the traditional black. My U looks a little bit crooked to me, but I think it'll be okay. You can use your tweezers here to put your letters on. It might make it easier. And so this will be the same for both the boy and the girl. My U and my A are a little bit crooked. So then we have the stack of books. And this can be confusing when you go to put it together. You have 3 pages and you have what makes up 3 books. So when you start, this book starts at the second one. And you're just going to line that up and glue it on. And then the top book. This piece is to help enhance the cover of the top book and the crease for the end of the book and the so one corner on this book between these two, this one is rounded, and that is for the what would be the bottom corner of the book. This one is pointed sharp, and this corner is rounded. And then for your pages, your biggest pages go to the top book, and you just butt them right up against the top rectangle you just put on. The thinnest pages here go to the middle book. And again, you're just going to butt it right up against the book that's above it. And then you have the piece for the bottom book. This one, you want to line this edge up here and keep it down a little. Don't butt it right up against this because you want to see the top cover of this book because of the way the books are angled. So the books go together the same on both the girl and the boy. And they just go there at the bottom. And then this piece that I popped will go right over them, just like that. Like they're sitting inside the unrolled diploma. So again, I had laid out my gnome before I started just to make sure I knew where everything was going to go. And I'm going to pop his feet. And I'll pop his diploma as well. So those pieces are ready. His beard, you want to make sure to get up to the brim of his hat and just double check to make sure it's going to be covered when you put that piece on, and it is. So it lines up about center. And I'm going to glue this piece down. It does have a straight edge there to help you get it to where it needs to be. And I'm going to put on his hat cap. I have also inked all of the edges on these white to help distinguish all these pieces with them being all the same color. And I'm going to attach the brim of his hat. I'm going to pop his mustache. And his mustache does curl up over the edges of the brim. Like that. When I put on small pieces, if I know where I want it to land, I always put my glue on the piece I'm applying the small piece to. That way I can move the small piece around and get it to the spot that I want it. And I'm not spreading glue everywhere. I'm going to put his tassel on.
Why would you go in?
And now his shoes. And lastly, his diploma. And there he is, and he'll sit right on his books. That's a super cute card. So now let's put the girl together, because she goes together the same. Everything else is the same for her, the books, the unrolled document, the graduate. So we'll put her together so you can see how she pieces together. I'm going to prepare all of my pieces first. I've also inked all of her edges. I've inked her diploma that she holds. The small rectangular square is her face, and it glues right here on her hair. I would apply the face to her hair instead of putting it on her base first. That way you can make sure you're not having any of the corners sticking out, and you also get her face placed where you like it. And then I'm going to put her hair on. And she does have a bump here and one there. Kind of looks like it'd be below an ear, but that's actually the brim of her hat. And those two are where her hair goes. So you just line that up right like that. And then put on the base of her hat. Then the brim of her hat. And her nose. My paper is textured, that's why I keep looking at it and then flipping it over. Because I want the textured side up. I'm going to apply her tassel. And prepare the piece for her diploma. And if you want their shoes to hang over more, you can. This piece, there is no edge that they're sitting on, so if you want their shoes lower, you can make them lower. And there she is. So she also sits on the front of the card. Thank you for joining me.